let's talk about leave behinds. I was on this sales page on Facebook the other day, and I saw somebody ask a question of, what do you guys leave for your leave behinds when you go to a sales appointment? Or who leaves leave behind? Something along those lines. And I was like, you know what? Just the term leave behind is negative, because we should not have the idea that we're going to go give this person an estimate and let them make an educated decision later on. What a leave behind tells me, if you are planning to have leave behinds, it means you're expecting the customer to do all the research that you're supposed to educate them on as a professional, and then hopefully choose your company as the right one because your leave behinds are the most educational. Well, if that were the instance, then wouldn't they just Google stuff and do it themselves if it was that simple, right? If they're going to do all this research and figure out how to do it, what to use, what products to use, what products not to use, what company to use, why do they need you? And that's the reality of the situation. You might be like, oh, Colin, I'm ready to fight you on this one because I don't believe in pushy sales, right? Anybody who shows up, and if it's anything more than $5,000, like you're scamming people and blah, blah, blah. I hear it all the time, right? And it's a bunch of baloney because guess what? My customers are happier than your customers. That's just the reality of it, all right? That's the truth. I have more reviews and it works. So my customers are happy to pay us the money that they pay us. My customers are happy when we show up and we show them the total value of what they get when they choose to do business with us, and they stroke us a check for twice as much as the other two estimates. Because guess what? Those other two estimates left leave behinds and said, here, you figure out what you want and I'll just do it. Here's the price, right? No, they're calling a professional for a reason, because they're not a freaking professional in that industry, right? So when you have the idea of, I'm gonna leave a leave behind for the customer, that means you're going there without the intention to sell anything. And if you expect to be an actual business, if you wanna be self-employed, great. I got a whole video on the difference between self-employed and a business, right? But if you wanna run an actual business, you have to show up ready to sell. Now, does that mean you have to be a pushy salesperson? Absolutely not. Does that mean you have to ask for the sale multiple times and it might make you feel like you're being a little bit pushy? 100%. You have to be willing to be a salesperson. That's all there is to it. If you show up thinking that your fancy leave behind is what's going to get you the deal, it's not. All right, now let me be clear. We show up with what most people would deem leave behinds. All right, we have a folder and we go through all the stuff and we have all of our products and all that stuff, right? So we go through, but they're all sales tools, all right? I believe that physical tools are way better than looking at a screen, all right? We are so accustomed to looking at screens and just scrolling all day and the endorphin hit lasting less than 2 seconds and then forgetting about it. Think about that. Think about that for a second. The last funny reel your buddy sent you. How long did you think about that for after you watched it? Maybe a few seconds, all right? That's it. And that's what the customers do when you just scroll on a screen and make them watch these videos and show them this fancy stuff, right? It doesn't hold any weight. A literal paper carries more physical weight and mental weight than watching something on a screen. It's just the way that the mind works, and we've proven that. That's why I can go to the biggest, baddest companies that teach sales, that teach all this, and their targets are 20 to 30% closing rates, and we beat that because we use physical samples, physical documents. We show up, here's our proof of insurance, here's our license, here's our company story, and they get hands-on with it all. And then they do the same thing with all of our products. Right? That's the way that you're supposed to sell. So do we leave it behind? Yes. All right. If we don't get the deal, we do leave that behind. But they're not leave behinds. They are sales tools. They're meant to help us get the deal right then. And that psychology needs to switch. These are not leave behinds. These are sales tools. All right. So if you are even using the term leave behinds in your office, stop it today. Right? These are not leave behinds. These are sales tools and watch it shift the perspective inside of your sales team, or watch it shift your own perspective. All right. The more you say something, the more you believe it, the more you will start to actually utilize it. All right. So leave behinds are for non-salespeople. All right. Use your physical copies as sales tools. Get out there, kick some absolute butt. I just had a comment on one of my posts. This guy sells 7 out of 10 and he uses it as a sales pitch. He's not pushy. I'm not even going to ask you for your business today. I'm going to leave you with a price. And if I don't hear from you, you'll never hear from me again. All right? I don't do any follow-ups, and he was proud of it. And I was like, you close 7 out of 10 that way? Dude, you have to be the cheapest guy or close to it, right? And his argument is probably going to be like, nope, the cheapest guy is always a few $100s less than mine. And it's like, yeah, all right, you're the cheap guy. Like, just because you know the cheapest guy charges a few $100s less, that cheapest guy, they can't even find because he's not on Google, all right? So you were the cheapest bid that they got, and that's why you closed 7 out of 10. All right? If you're closing 7 out of 10 jobs, your price is astronomically too low. I would wager that it's half the price that it actually should be. Yes, you heard that right. It's half the price that it should be to run an actual business. Now, if you're self-employed, that's fine. You're self-employed, you're probably all right, and you're making a decent living, so be it, all right? But if you want to run an actual business, it's got to be double that price, all right? That's it. I mean, I just went to a buddy of mine's business, and he does $2.5–3 million a year in just gutter work. Gutter, soffit, and fascia, I think. Runs a great business, 40-year-old business. His dad, or maybe his grandpa started it, I don't remember. But anyways, he's the next generation running it. He has 2 sales reps running 9 to 12 estimates a day. And he said about a third to a half of them are there. And they're closing between 60 and 70% of those leads. And I just looked at him, I said, dude, your price is way too low. And he's like, yeah, but Colin, we can't do an actual demo when we're running this many sales we're running this many sales calls. It's like, right. Well, you'd probably run half as many sales calls if you actually made sure both homeowners were there. Okay, yep. So if you run half of them and you're only selling 60%, so you're losing 10% there, and your prices could literally double. Now, your profit margins are more, your sales reps make more, your crew can make more, everybody's happier, and you don't have, maybe you don't have 3 or 4 trucks running, maybe you only have 2. But guess what? That's less maintenance, that's less people to maintain, right? Your business gets way simpler. And for him, everything is company culture for him. So that would break his heart to have to move people in his organization, or get rid of them, right? I don't think he would fire them. So it's like, who could transition into sales? Your sales rep should not be running more than 2 or 3 leads in a day. If you're just gutter, soffit, and fascia, sure, 3, all right? They can run 3 a day, but actual formal demos, that's all, right? They should be running 3 a day. So if they're running 9 to 12, let's double your pricing. Let's make sure homeowners are actually going to be there. Actually only have 6 or 7 appointments per day per rep, right? So right now you got 2 running, let's call it 10 a day. That's 20 leads. Let's say only half of those actually will schedule because the rest don't want to be there or whatever, right? So now you got 10. Well, if you're running 3 appointments per rep, that's 3 1/3 reps. Holy smokes. All right, so you move somebody off of a truck into sales, the rest takes care of itself, all right? It's just business, that's all it is. It's just business, moving pieces. When your prices are too low, if you are emailing off estimates, if you are leaving the customer and walking away, not asking for the sale, and you are closing more than 50%, your price is way too low. That's the reality of the situation, all right? So leave behinds are not selling. Leave behinds are not part of a sales process. You use them as a sales tool. And sure, you can leave things, but don't expect that person to call you back. It's just the way it goes, all right? So the psychology of a leave behind inside of your office is actually the death of you actually acquiring those customers. That's it. No more leave behinds. Use them as sales tools.